There's a serious debate brewing. Do you take Social Security as soon as you can, or do you wait as long as you can? We're going to plan with Ash today. Ash of Strong Tower Associates is back with us. Yeah, you hear some people say, hey, take it as soon as you can. Other people say, no, 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 wait. So how do we make the call?
You know, that's a very, very good question, and a very serious one too. And you know, the problem is that you read articles, you see things online about people, you know, being very adamant about one way or the other. You hear friends talking about, you know, what they decided to do and how convinced they are that they're absolutely right. And I think it's a little bit more significant than that. I think it's very individual. It's dependent on several moving pieces that we're going to talk about today, because it's really, I mean, I'm tired of this conversation, to be honest.
Okay, so let's nip it in the bud today. So you say we should consider a certain number of items, for instance, how long we plan to work.
Absolutely. You know, part of this is you have to understand the limitations of collecting Social Security as early as possible and continuing to work. You know, there's only a certain amount of money you're allowed to make between the ages of 62, which is the earliest you can collect, and your full retirement age. So you got to keep that in mind. Now, you know, if you keep working well past your full retirement age, you know, 66, 67 for most people, then you can earn as much money as you want and collect Social Security, but you have to understand the fact that you can't just turn on Social Security and earn as much money as you want. There are limitations to consider. Okay,
another thing you say to consider, the age difference between you and your spouse.
Absolutely. This is often missed. You know, I have people tell me, you know, Ash, I did the math, and they're married, right? I did the math, and I'm only going to live to 85, so I'm just going to collect it early because I'm not going to live long enough for it to make sense for me to wait, you know, until 70 or somewhere in between.
Okay.
And I say, well, how much younger than you is your wife? And they say, oh, she's 10 years younger. Well, think about it. If you pass away, she's going to continue to get your Social Security, assuming it's the higher of the two Social Securities.
But if you take it early, it's going to run out.
Well, it's going to be a smaller amount for the rest of her lifetime. So if she's going to outlive you by another 10 to 15 years, then your life expectancy isn't necessarily 85. Your spouse's life expectancy is much longer than that. So you've got to keep in mind the relationship between you and your spouse, and the difference in Social Security you both would get, and making sure that if there's going to be only one person in the family, because for most people there will be a time when there's just one person left in the family, you have to make sure there's enough income for that person, and oftentimes waiting to collect Social Security assures that person having a better standard of living.
Okay. Another item, assets that you've saved for retirement.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, some people can afford to wait until later to collect Social Security because they have enough assets set aside. Others don't have that option even, right? So, and the other thing too is the psychological impact. You know, are you willing to retire early and live on your own investments and watch them deplete because you are going to be, you know, missing out on a big chunk of Social Security check? Or are you going to want to kind of balance the two and get some Social Security and some from your investment income? So there's a lot of things to consider, right? I mean, this stuff is enough to make your head spin, right?
Which is why we need an expert like you.
Absolutely. So that's why we've got to sit down together and we've got to figure out what's your unique family situation, what's the best plan for you. Let's get something that fits you, that's custom made for you, as opposed to some generic, you know, one-size-fits-all solution.
Okay. Well, that brings us to your roadmap to turning 65. What is that?
Yeah, so the roadmap to turning 65 is a guide that I put together for people who are turning 65, and let them know what to expect and what choices they need to make right when they turn 65, when it comes to Medicare and Social Security and things like that. Also, there's another guide we'll send in, which is the options when it comes to Social Security. So you'll actually get two guides from us if you contact us. So there you go. We want to make sure we give as much as we can to our viewers and listeners.
And then finally, we like to tell folks where you're located.
Yeah, so we are located on Jonestown Road right in Harrisburg, and our main office is in State College, and we have other offices as well. But go to our website, strongtowerpa.com, and you'll find a lot of information there.
Yes, and then we'll give you a call and you can walk us through all those different scenarios. Thank you, Ash. We'll be right back.